Alrighty, y'all, welcome to Ellis Mowers. I'm going to do a real-time update for y'all here on a Tuesday. I hope y'all enjoyed the John Deere 125. If you do watch all of my videos, you have seen what I have done to this thing. And we'll see if we get it back going, but it has ended up back here in the back. It's got a bunch of leaves and stuff on it now because it's under the tree. All I got to do is blow it off and wash it off. The only thing I have done so far is take the deck off of it, take the front wheels off of it, and obviously it has the blown right side cylinder on the V-twin. That's the only thing I've done with this thing ever since I filmed that video that y'all saw on Sunday. And so that's what I've got going on with that. I just wanted to give you a quick update, especially those that are loyal watchers that watch. I know that some of y'all are a little disappointed that I schedule out my videos like I do. Again, I've got so much content that I film in a week. I could probably give y'all a video every day, but the issue is when the season starts slowing down, I'm going to stop working on these and I'm going to work on my house because I'm doing in the middle of a bathroom renovation and I want to get that house knocked out. I'm just getting the funds in so that it doesn't put as much of hurting on my wallet, and I don't want to share the numbers that I make off of these, but it's helped me out a ton, I'll say that much. And I just like showing people these videos because if you want to get into this, you can actually make some decent money in it. You just kind of have to be strategic in what you do. You're not going to win on everything, but you'll win on most of them. I was thinking about John over at Turning Wrenches, and he had an L100 John Deere that after 7 episodes he couldn't get going. It's like, man, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You can't win them all. But John, you got 700 for that Craftsman earlier in the year, so just remember that too. It's about time for me to tell y'all the May numbers, which I just tallied up. And I don't know if y'all can see, I wrote them on my phone here, but that's what I ended up selling. 14 push mowers, 8 riding mowers, 1 parts riding mower, 1 blower, as in leaf blower, not snow blower. I do have a snow blower, but it's my personal use. I don't have much money in it. And a pressure washer. So again, a lot of it was mostly just keeping up because I was pretty strapped in May for mowers. As soon as I can get something ready, it was gone. So that was the May numbers. And of course I got this off the trailer, and my mower inventory in the backyard here is starting to, it's not dwindling. I still got like 10 in the backyard and 4 in the garage, but you know what I'm talking about. I had up to 15 at one point. I guess that means I still have 14, right? Still getting the trades in and whatnot. But y'all will see these coming up. Let me tell you what has happened over the past week. And I'm not talking about what's happened in the world. I'm talking about what's happened in the mower world here at the house. We hear too much of what's happening in the world on other avenues. I don't need to get into that. So I had and I didn't film it, I don't think. I had the Husqvarna, the older Husqvarna that I had, sold. I've got this one apart from what y'all could tell last week. But the older Husqvarna I got sold pretty quickly. I got it fixed pretty quickly. And it's gone. It was the 13.5 horsepower Kohler with the 42-inch deck on it. The only thing I found was that the battery wouldn't charge on it. And so I don't know if the coil went out or something along those lines. So I got that Husqvarna gone. He traded me. The guy literally lived like I could almost see his house from here. He lived so close. I probably could have drove the mower over there because I would only had to run about 500 feet on a public road in order to get over there. It was 0.2 miles. He gave me a Husky 42-inch LT 4200. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw that's what I got. I guess I got $100 plus that mower. That mower was super nice. If I pull up my Instagram, I'll show you a picture of it. Like I said, that mower was super nice. Here's a picture of it sold right there. I don't know how well that's showing, but it was a 2014 model. It still had the nipples on the inside of the tires. It was brand new. It was crazy. I have sold, I don't know if y'all remember all of the push mowers that I got. I guess only about a week and a half ago now, that came with the Husqvarna rider. Every single one of them is gone. I mean, I was able to fix and sell every single one of them. I have one left in the lean-to. It's going to a former coworker at the end of the week, but I still consider it sold. It actually sold, is actually this one right here. But it actually sold once after I cleaned the carb, and then the carb ended up getting gummed up as soon as the guy got home, and so he ended up bringing back, and I gave him his money back. The snapper also sold, and a couple other push mowers, a Murray 3.5 horsepower classic. And the remainder of the other mowers. I don't remember how far I was back, but I got that snapper rear engine rider back that had the governor issue. I sold that, and the black Murray, which I believe I sold those on the same day that I did my last update. So I have one trade that the guy bought the Ryobi one here. He ended up trading me this one just to simply the upgrade, and it ran. So just kind of a synopsis of what's happened sale-wise this week. And I don't know any of my loyal and fellow mechanics who know more about opposed twin Briggs engines. I need help. Seeking help, guys. Let me move this one out of the way for us. I'll get to that one in a second. This one and this one, both are opposed twins. This one right here is complete and ready to go, except for the fact, and I mentioned this I think in my last video, I've put a brand new carburetor on it. This is one of the 4-screw Chinese clones or whatever, but it's doing the exact same thing. It's almost like it's getting too much fuel into the carburetor, and I don't know why. So I guess whenever you have the throttle closed, then it's gonna close the butterfly down there. But as soon as you open that butterfly, if it runs at full throttle with the butterfly closed, it'll run. But as soon as you open that butterfly, it just dumps fuel down into that intake, and it floods out the cylinders, and eventually it gets to the point where the battery can't even turn it over. It probably won't even turn over now, actually. Actually, it will. Take that back. The fuel's dissolved. Oh, because I have the spark plugs out of it. So, any help or advice, if anybody's had this experience before, if it's to the point where I need to go get a 3-screw Walboro carburetor in order for this to run, I'll probably buy it. I probably will buy it. Although they are an arm and a leg right now. Holy moly. I think they're about $100 a piece for a good one. But I've rebuilt a 3-screw one before with luck, with great success. But I cannot get either of these 4-screw Nickies to run right. It's like I said, it's like they're getting too much fuel pressure, and I don't know how to dial back the fuel pressure or make the throttle arm and the butterfly and all that work like it needs to. It's quite honestly a shame, because the mower is in awesome shape. Hydrotrans and all that good stuff. But I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do now. I'll show you my next project here in a minute, and I think I might have to donate the deck back to the mower that I actually originally came off of. But the project I just finished up, I'm actually about to go cut with it since there's still daylight outside whenever I'm filming this. 14.5 horsepower quiet package Wizard with the Ventec. It's a Craftsman. It's a Craftsman in disguise. They just put Ventec on it because that's how, or Vented, excuse me. Vented. I thought it was a Ventec deck. I was like, whoa. This one's ready to go. It's cleaned up. This thing was caked in oil. I just think it's caked in oil from, I mean, it's a 96 model, so it's caked up in oil from 25 years of existence. Really the only bad thing is the seat. I had good success with the $8 Walmart seat cover on the Husqvarna. So I'm going to put the remainder of the $8 seat cover onto the Wizard here. I may already have a buyer for this thing. I told the woman $400 and she said, let me know when it's ready. So I'm going to do a test mow on it, make sure that it is good. The only thing I've noticed is that I don't know if it's the resistor and the diode that's gone out. I know I was on a chat or was listening, I think, to Mixed Mowers and Ken's Small Engines. I think had a video on this where these resistors sometimes go out in the diodes of these stators and other things on the Briggs engines. And I don't know if you can see. I might cut it off and see what's going on with it, but I think the resistor's gone out, or I've either got a bad connection or a bad ground, one of the two. I just never bothered to take the flywheel off because the darn thing runs so good. If you put the thing on a trickle charger every couple of mows, then you're not even gonna have to worry about it, honestly. So, and I sold one exactly like this. It was a weed eater for $400. That's what I'm going to let this one go for too, because it's about the same shape. I'm about the same age and about the same everything. So that's the project that just got finished. Let's see what I'm going to work on next. I might let y'all visit into the lean-to here real quick, and then we'll go with what I'm going to work on next, or what I think I'm going to work on next. I'm still tossing it around. There's a choice of 3 that I can think of in the back right now. Let me get my keys out real quick. Because this is actually my week on at work, so I'm not able to do as much because we're still in that rotation. Thankful I still got a job though. Kind of cool if I was able to do this full time one day. Most of this is just like scrap carcass stuff as of right now. I'll come in and clean it out at some point. This is the mower that's going to the former coworker. He's also going to give me a Lowe's riding mower that needs some work on it for free. It's going to be kind of nice. This mower needs a pull rope return spring, but I'm suspect that it has compression issues because the guy said that he couldn't get it started to save his life, and that's when he traded it to me. But I was able to put the carb and the carb diaphragm on another mower, and it worked perfectly. The intake tube on this one was loose, so if it was letting too much air in, that would be the reason. I have tightened the bolts on the intake tube. So I'm wondering if I could get a pull rope return spring. But again, I'm not going to get more than about $40 for the mower if I put a $10 spring on it. You know, I don't even know if I'm in the good at that point. That's a good deck. That engine is toast on that push mower back there, though. Broke down a couple of things, just mocked up a couple of engines just in case I decide I get bored and I want to do a push mower or two one day. Like I said, I just don't really have a lot of time. Well, I don't have a lot of time this week, but I want to get a lot of them riding mowers out before the summer really hits and the heat kills the grass. So I might knock out a push mower or two on a day that it's not too busy. But I gotta find air filter covers for both of those Briggs engines, as well as this Honda engine, neither of which came in with. The Honda engine runs as is, but it didn't come with an air filter cover. So I've got to put that on another deck. I might put it on the Toro deck and sell it. But like I said, I got to get air filter covers and stuff. This is a little bit of a mess back here. I am working on this Craftsman Tiller, which is the last item that I got from that lot about a week and a half ago. Wasn't pulling up gas. The carb diaphragm looked bad. I have a carb diaphragm that came in yesterday. I'm going to put that on after I finish cutting today. See what happens. Pressure washer is doing great. Again, I've got a couple of decks right here. They're good decks overall. They just need, they're just missing a couple of parts, like a spindle, and that one's missing, I think, a spring or two here. The John Deere, I think, is good. I just got to put the right deck belt on it. I think that was my issue with it. Just shredded the deck belt. That's the deck that I fixed on that LA 105 a while back. And there's a good Troy Bilt deck that came off of that mower way in the back. So real quickly to wrap this up, my next mower projects, I don't know what I'm going to work on. I know the Craftsman here. This is an MTD Craftsman. Tires are holding all. The tires are all holding air on them is what I was trying to say. However, I do know that it needs a transmission returns, a transaxle tensioner spring, because it's missing it. So this arm right here is supposed to be all the way over here, and it's like the Vari-Drive. So the Vari-Drive's not working, and the brakes aren't working, and it needs that spring on it. So I'll have to order that spring. It also needs an air filter cover. I don't think I have an air filter cover that'll work here at the house because this is a newer 21 horse engine. Most of the stuff I've worked on has been the older stuff. The Husqvarna, I know it needs, I'm probably just going to swap the motor on it. I don't know if I'm going to do that next. I don't know if I'm going to do this next. Or back here in the back, I kind of want to do this Craftsman because it's got the 15.5 Kohler on it. It's just missing a right rear wheel, to my knowledge. I don't have another tractor wheel that I want to put on it. I have the smaller wheels, which will work fine. It just won't have the tractor tires on it, which is really not that big of a deal. I just have to realign the deck when I put it on. I haven't done anything to this, but it's in really good shape. I could make sure that the Kohler engine runs on it. These two Troy Bilts are probably going to wait a while. This Troy Bilt had a rusted out deck. This Troy Bilt needs a few steering parts. I don't think either one will take too much to get going. I don't think it'll take too much to get this going, but I got to work on the deck, and I know that this cylinder is logged with water, so I've got to work on that. This 17 horse Intech is likely what's going to go on to the Husqvarna over there, which will be more than enough, which will be plenty of power for this mower. I'm not going to be rebuilding this Kohler Courage. I don't think anyways, I've got to have to weld it right here around the block, and it's pretty bad. It's actually really bad. And I'll also have to I think the the compression release is out on it too. So that's a general update. Things are clearing out, thankfully. Still cranking pretty good here in June. Had a great 3 months. I've sold about 117 items so far, including about 24 riders, and most of the rest are push mowers, so you're talking about probably 60 push mowers. Maybe even a couple more than that. So that's a general update I want to give you. You can follow me at Ellis Mowers 09 on Instagram and Facebook for other real-time updates, and you can see what I'm working on right here on the channel. Really quickly, I've got just an MTD rider scheduled for Wednesday, an old MTD rider, but it gets running. So I'll catch y'all then.